Airstream founder Wally Byam was born on the 4th of July, 1896, in Baker City, a boomtown along the Oregon Trail, which his grandparents had traveled in a mule-drawn wagon on their journey out west. He grew up working hard with his uncle on a sheep farm, where he lived in a wooden wagon, towed by a donkey much like his grandparents had. Inside the wagon he had a stove, food, water, and everything he needed, which would later inspire his first travel trailer. After working to support himself through college and graduating from Stanford in 1921, Wally worked in journalism, advertising, and publishing. He and his first wife Marion went camping regularly, but she never enjoyed sleeping on the ground in a tent. So in 1929, Wally put together a tent contraption on top of a Model T chassis. It was mobile, but it wasn't a lot of fun in the rain, and it was a chore to put together. He went back to the drawing board and replaced the tent with a teardrop-shaped permanent shelter and added a stove and ice chest. It was a proper trailer, and it caught the eye of so many other travelers that Wally decided it might be a pretty good business to get into. After building his own travel trailer, Wally published a do-it-yourself guide in Popular Mechanics for others to do the same. Soon his neighbors started asking him to build trailers for them like the one in his front yard, and he obliged. Noise complaints quickly followed, so Wally rented a building and opened a small trailer factory in Culver City, California in 1931, Airstream's first factory. They soon relocated, but the Airstream dream was born. When Wally Byam opened the first Airstream factory in California, there were fewer than 50 trailer manufacturers registered for business. In the next 5 years, demand for the trailer lifestyle exploded and the industry followed suit. By 1937, there were around 400 manufacturers competing for customers. Unfortunately for many of those daring entrepreneurs, the Great Depression and World War II took a toll, and today, only Airstream remains. By 1952, Airstream had outgrown its Los Angeles plant and desperately needed to expand. Rather than staying on the West Coast, Wally traveled east to scout locations across the Midwest. He spent a summer looking in Indiana, Illinois, and Ohio before finding a factory for sale in Jackson Center, Ohio. With Neil Vanderbilt on the board and Airstream's obvious success, funding was easy to find, and soon Wally had his ideal second location locked down. And it turned out to be a great choice. More than 65 years later, Airstream is still making trailers in Jackson Center. After battling cancer with his trademark tenacity, Wally Byam passed away on July 22, 1962. He left behind an Airstream company at its peak, working to meet the demand that Wally's dreams and hard work had created for travel, adventure, and experiencing the world firsthand. As for a successor, Art Costello was formerly the president of Airstream Trailers Incorporated of California, and Andy Charles was formerly the president of Airstream Trailers Incorporated of Ohio. After Art became Airstream's president, Andy was voted chairman of Airstream's board. In 1969, the Airstream trailer had its first major redesign in over 30 years, with an internal facelift, as well as exterior and structural changes. The end result was an Airstream with rounder edges that further enhanced the distinctive silver bullet shape. It even added a foot of length and 4 inches of width. It was a big step on the path from Wally's first trailer to the one you see on the road today. When humans first visited the moon in 1969, it was feared that the astronauts who walked on its surface might bring back disease or other maladies with them. NASA took every precaution, and it was decided that the Apollo 11 trio would be quarantined upon their safe return. Airstream was tasked with constructing a mobile quarantine facility that could be taken to the USS Hornet, which would greet Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. There's even a famous photo of President Richard Nixon speaking to the trio from outside. Airstream leadership had been in flux for years after the passing of Wally Byam, with control of the company changing hands several times in the next few decades. In 1980, stability came once again. Wade Thompson and Peter Orthwain, owners of High-Low Trailers, saw the market starting to pick up and moved to form a new company, Thor Industries, and acquire Airstream. And that association continues to this day, over 30 years later. The design and beauty of the Airstream trailer have gained it many admirers, and after decades of touring the roads and campsites of America and the world, it's gone from being an oddity to a true American icon. One example? In 1987, Money magazine chose the Airstream travel trailer as one of 99 things that, yes, Americans make best, alongside titans of American industry like Coca-Cola and Heinz ketchup. While today's travelers are inspired by the same kind of wanderlust and curiosity as our founder Wally Byam was almost 100 years ago, the way they want to travel continues to change. And it's our job to keep our finger on the pulse of those changes. If you're shopping for an Airstream or looking for quality service, you won't find a more knowledgeable, more experienced, or more professional dealership than Sutton RV in the Pacific Northwest. We offer a large selection of fresh and exciting Airstream choices, and we have over a decade of Airstream experience. When it comes to buying or servicing your Airstream, we're the best in the West. We feature worry-free internet transactions and relaxed, uncomplicated business procedures, and we can arrange special deliveries to other parts of the country. So whether you're visiting us from here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest or the sunny South, let Sutton RV be your Airstream source.